Hola amigos and welcome back. Here's just a couple of quick notes to recap clase número 3 and to get you ready for clase número 4. Again, remember, and I'll always have it posted here on this first slide, there's my number if you need to reach me. You can call or you can text. Just make sure you let me know who the heck you are when you text so you don't get a who dis coming back at you. There's also our Remind code. If you haven't yet joined us on Remind, it's totally worth it. I promise. I have absolutely hysterical, to me, Spanish memes that I will share with you, along with some additional announcements, games, videos, etc. that may help make this a bit more fun for you. Otherwise, moving right along, a couple pieces of advice and feedback. Make sure, again, I know we've talked about it, that you are going through each lesson in order. Part of doing that will help you make sure to get those on-time points. Speaking of it, make sure that you are actually clicking on the final button for those when you reach that point. Just finishing everything else won't count. You actually have to click through the on-time points in order to claim those. When it comes to getting feedback, make sure that you are looking in the grades and comments section from them. Even if it's a discussion, sometimes I'll respond back to the group. Sometimes if it's a more grammar-based one like the ones that you had last time, you may simply find the feedback in those comments. But do make sure that you're taking a look at those. Hopefully you will find them useful. Again, if you have tech issues throughout the course, I recommend a different browser. We do have a little tech challenge coming up for you in clase número 4. So be patient with yourself, be patient with me. Let me know if you have problems with it. And always keep in mind the goal is communication, not linguistic perfection. So our goals, nuestras metas para la clase número 4. La pronunciación. We're going to work on not sounding super gringo, says the gringa. We're also going to work on how can you identify some of those cognates. Cognates are those words that they're your best friend because they look like what they are in Spanish and English. They sound like what they are in Spanish and English. You're going to spend some time focusing on those. And we're also going to think about how do you talk about different people, whether it's talking about yourself, I, blah, 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 versus I'm talking to you or someone else. So just to keep those in mind, those will be your goals. I'll put links to these down below the posting of this video in the announcements. There is a little bit of, as always, inappropriate humor in this video, which I highly recommend just because it's going to make you feel better about the struggles that some of us still have. So think about how strong your pronunciation is. Think about, especially that second question, is it worth sounding silly when it comes to learning a language, and why? And what do you do to try and understand someone who's learning English? We're also going to get you, and I will give you a link to this one too, El Alfabeto. It's like going back to kindergarten, only with this song, this video, it is even more obnoxious. So I apologize in advance. But if you can learn how the alphabet works in Spanish, you will be able to say anything. If you can see it, you can say it. If you can say it, you can figure out how to spell it. That's the way Spanish works. It's very unlike English in that respect. One thing I highly recommend as you practice is just simply walking around and naming stuff. For example, ¿Cómo se escribe tu nombre? My name's Jennifer. Me llamo Jennifer. Entonces, J-E-N-N-I-F-E-R. Seems easy enough. What else can you figure out how to spell? Another concept, again, that you're going to see are those cognados. So as you watch this video, and again, I'll include the link, make sure you're thinking about what is a cognate. How would you explain that to somebody else? There's different types, so pay attention to those. And especially keep an eye out for those amigos versus those amigos falsos, because there's a big difference. Last but not least, you're going to start doing some work with personal pronouns. I think the explanation in D2L is a good one, but for those of you who are more visual learners, I happen to love this one. It just makes it really clear. Yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, nosotras, vosotros, vosotras, ellos, ellas, and ustedes. We'll be talking more about those next time, so don't worry. But if you, like me, are a bit more of a visual learner and need a picture, there you go. Again, keep in mind the steps to success. Most importantly, if you feel like you are struggling, falling behind, not sure why you're getting points on something, just reach out. Hasta luego.